الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فإذا قرأت القرآن فاستعذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وقال تعالى: وإن تعدوا نعمة الله لا تحصوها. صدق الله العظيم. One-third of Ramadan has already passed. And many of us were preparing during the months of Rajab, Sha'ban, and we made goals, we had aspirations to complete so-and-so Qur'ān or so-and-so Taraweeh or this much ዒባdah. I want you to take the time right now to reflect and ponder over how much you have covered, how much you have obtained, how much ዒbadah you have performed, and are you still on track with your goals? Now, if you've never made the goals, then that's when it starts right now. There's a thing, you've probably seen it, we used to use it in university as well. I think they use it in corporate world as well, the SMART goals. So you have, it's an acronym SMART. And if you never heard about it, you can look it up inshallah afterwards. But it's a tool that helps you stay on task and makes your goal very measurable and time efficient. What does it mean? S stands for specific, that the goal is specific. Number 2, is it measurable? Number 3, is it achievable? Number 4, is it really realistic? And number 5, timely. T for timely. So you can look it up inshallah if you've never seen it before. And I personally, we did it as a family before the month of Ramadan, all of us. When we came together for our family gathering, we did it together. I had my students do that in university as well. Some of them said that they were going to finish 1 Qur'an, some of them said they were going to finish 5 Qur'an, some of them said they were going to finish 10 Qur'ans. And when I saw that, mashallah, I got motivated myself from their goals. And that's as-sabiqun. Right? We want to motivate each other in goodness. And when we have goals set in the household, that's only going to motivate it. Yourself, you're going to keep yourself accountable, and individuals within your household are going to keep yourself accountable as well. You stick it on the wall, you see it every single day. Oh, I'm a little bit behind. Let me read up on my juz that I was supposed to read for the last few days. So they're called SMART goals. The single greatest blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us is our iman and our Islam, no doubt about it. Absolutely. And He tells us in multiple places in the Qur'an, and even in the 14 juz that we're going to recite today, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا, that if you try to count the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, you won't be able to count them. It's just not possible. Don't even bother. You can try. You obviously want to acknowledge the blessing that He has given you, definitely. But that list is going to be never ending. All the way from the external of your body to the internal of your body. You can ask the doctors here, mashallah, how the organs go hand in hand with the other organs and how they function. Only Allah knows. Now I want to take this time right now to kind of refresh the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us because of this beautiful month that we're in. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said that whoever does any good in the month of Ramadan, then he will get the act of performing a fard prayer outside the month of Ramadan. Whoever does a fard act in the month of Ramadan, then he will get the reward of doing 70 fard acts. 1 fard act, the reward of 70 fard acts. 1 non-fard act is going to be equal to a fard act. This is the beauty of Ramadan. No? The entire month, filled with rewards. Prophet ﷺ said in another hadith that the first 10 days are the days of rahmah. The second 10 days, the 10 days that we're in right now, are the days of maghfirah and forgiveness. And the last 10 days are the days at which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frees individuals from Jahannam. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us mercy. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us forgiveness. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us, safety from Jahannam. As I was driving here today, you might have noticed I came a few minutes late. On Route 30, they closed the street for like half a mile. Cops, 30, 40 cops. They made us go on the side, go through the dealership, go one single file line. As I inched closer and closer and closer to the street, they were doing something with some man at the Walgreens. I'm not sure what happened. But then as I went a quarter mile ahead, there was a fire truck. And there was an ambulance right there. And as we got closer to the street, there was a body on the floor. And they just had wrapped his body. I'm not making this stuff up. This is right before Salah. We're talking about virtues and blessings. How about the blessing of life right now? The blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us to witness this beautiful month of Ramadan. At any moment, at any time, this life and this blessing can be taken away from us. That's why, you might think, why am I always, talking about blessings? Because if we don't acknowledge any, these blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, these blessings can be taken away from us at any moment. Any moment they can be taken away from us. Whether it's the ability to pray salah standing up, whether it's the ability to fast. I know individuals that are in my youth class, young kids, they aren't able to fast. One or two of them, they weren't able to fast because they were diagnosed with diabetes and they weren't able to fast. Young kids, high school kids. It's no joke. When this blessing of fasting, this blessing of praying Taraweeh Salah. Prophet ﷺ, he talks about in regards to Taraweeh Salah. People think it's okay, I'm a little tired, I'll just go home today. They ask me, do I have to do Taraweeh? Do I have to do this many rakats? Do I have to do this many rakats? I tell them, all right, listen up, brother, listen up, sister. Taraweeh comes how many times a year? It only comes once, 1 month throughout the whole year. You can figure out whether it's fard, wajib, sunnah, that's fine. But it comes really once, 1 month throughout the whole year. Why not take advantage of that month? Why not? Yes, we might get a little bit less sleep, definitely. Might be a little bit more tired, okay. But really, this is Allah, the Prophet ﷺ, he says that individual who stands in Ramadan with iman and hoping for reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praying this Taraweeh prayer, his past sins are forgiven. Who are you doing it for? You're not doing it for anybody, you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for your mom, your dad, you're not doing it for anybody, you're doing it for yourself. Who's going to benefit from praying Taraweeh? You are. Nobody else is going to benefit, not the masjid. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-Ghani. He doesn't need you. He doesn't need me to pray. He doesn't need me to lead Taraweeh. Completely independent of us. Doesn't need any one of us. He can replace us in a moment. At any moment we can be replaced. And that's why the verse that I recited in the beginning, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. And this applies to other ibadahs as well. That when you begin the recitation of the Qur'an, you begin by أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. You seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from shaitan, the accursed one. He says this in the Qur'an. He says this in the Qur'an. Why do we seek refuge? Because shaitan, he's going to try to pick and pry at your brain and your nafs in any way possible, to when you go ahead and you try to perform an ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he's going to, when you're praying salah, that's when you, mashallah, you start remembering everything. Like, man, I forget everything in my exams, but in salah, mashallah, I remember everything. Huh? I remember everything. Everything starts coming to my mind, mashallah. How much money I have in my bank, how much, what was the answer to this question, what was the answer to that question. I remember everything. Yeah? So that's why we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from shaitan. He doesn't allow us to do tadabbur. He doesn't allow us to ponder. That's his job. To prevent us from pondering over this beautiful Qur'an. This Qur'an that makes even non-Muslim children, cry. Even if they don't know the meaning of it, they still cry. And he wants to prevent us as any way possible from acting upon this beautiful book. Because he knows if we act upon it, we're only going to be on that sirat alladhina an'amta alayhim. We're all be on that path. So when we're reciting the Qur'an, as it says in the verse, seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So say ta'awudh, say a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. And that's going to remove that waswasa from shaitan that, I don't have time to read today. I have to do this job. I have to do this for my work. I have to do this for school. I have to do this for home. That's shaitan. He wants to play with us. He wants to play with us. How is it possible with individuals like Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Shafi'i, for these individuals to finish 61 Qur'āns in the month of Ramadan? How is that possible? How is that possible? They used to finish two Qur'āns a day. Yeah? 2 Qur'āns a day, that's your 60, and then one Qur'an for Taraweeh. 61. These aren't prophets or anything. These are tabi'un, these are individuals that met the Sahaba. How is that possible? They were busy too, right? He was a merchant as well. He was a businessman as well. Just like you and I, we're businessmen as well. How? They made that time for it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in their time. How? Because they sought refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. And this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. Why? Because if you look in other places in Surah Al-Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن قَبْلِكَ مِن رَسُولٍ وَلَا نَبِيٍّ إِلَّا إِذَا تَمَنَّى أَلْقَى الشَّيْطَانُ فِي أُمْنِيَّتِهِ. That whenever we sent a messenger or a prophet to you, and we said, O Prophet, and he recited our revelations, Shaitan would try to influence that individual's understanding of his recitation. But eventually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would eliminate Shaitan's influence. Shaitan wasn't, he even tried to have an impact on the Prophet ﷺ and other prophets as well. So when we seek this refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by saying these beautiful kalimat that He has taught us, if you see another verse, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا إِذَا مَسَّهُمْ طَائِفٌ مِّنَ الشَّيْطَانِ تَذَكَّرُوا فَإِذَا هُمْ مُبْصِرُونَ. That indeed when Shaitan, he whispers to those individuals, he whispers to those individuals that have taqwa, mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that time, then they start to see things clearly. Okay? They start thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because that's what you're doing, right? When you're saying A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, you're clearing your mind from any side business. Your primary job is ዒbādah right now. I'm not going to be doing multitasking. No, I'm going to put all that to the side. My primary focus, ዒbādah right now, nothing else. Nothing else. Phone, go throw it in the other room. Go throw it in the other room. That's what I like to do, honestly. If I'm really serious, if I get really serious, I take my phone and I go throw it in the other room, and then I start doing my work. Start doing my work then. Whatever distractions, put them away. Go put them in the other room. We're too lazy to go get up and get them anyway, so that'll probably be enough. That'll probably be enough for it. And it's for this reason, Fakhruddin al-Razi, he states, فَلِهَذَا السَّبَبْ أَمَرَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى وَرَسُولَهُ بِالِاسْتِعَاذَةِ عِنْدَ الْقِرَاءَةِ حَتَّى تَبْقَى تِلْكَ الْقِرَاءَةُ مَصُونَةً عَنِ الْوَسْوَسَةِ. And it's for this reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught His Prophet. If He taught His Prophet, then who are we? We should be acting upon it most definitely. It's not just a hukum for the Prophet ﷺ, for us as well. That when we start recitation of the Qur'an, that we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that shaitan's waswasa is far, far away from us, and our qira'ah and our recitation is protected and preserved from his waswasa. And this is something that we can apply to other ibadat as well. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to recalibrate ourselves for the remaining 20 days of this beautiful month that we have left. Since the month of the Qur'an, since the month of Ramadan is the month of the Qur'an, we can't let shaitan divert us away from the recitation of the Qur'an. So inshallah, we ask Allah to always allow us to begin the recitation of the Qur'an with A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim and Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.